Really aiming for not that. So we'll see. Wish me luck. Hi, my name's Brianna. I am a 7th year social studies teacher at the high school level. I teach in Florida, and I'm also a seller on TPT. So if you're either of those things, I've got playlists for you on my channel. I have specific ones for TPT sellers or people who are interested in becoming TPT sellers. And then I also have ones that are just for regular teachers too. I have been selling on TPT since I finally looked it up because I'm like, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, since August of 2020. So this August will be 3 years. My first year was a little bit slow, which it is for anybody. But I teach a new course, well, it's kind of new, I guess, pre-AP World History and Geography through College Board. And I think that teachers got a little desperate. Most teachers that I know were thrown into it kind of last minute. So my sources did really well this past year. If you're selling or if you're thinking about selling and you've been watching videos, and you might be aware that TPT put a new personalized search in place in August. So it was, I don't know, 6+ months, more than that. I don't do math, I'm a social studies teacher. And a lot of people have been really upset with it. It tanked their sales. I still did really well. And I don't know if that's because I'm very niched down. I have very specific lessons for a very specific course for the most part. Because I did all right. I was fine. I was still growing. Or I don't know if that meant like I would have grown a lot more. I don't know. They did just do away with the personalized search, and I noticed a change almost instantly. And so while I said I'd been doing well, April was not good for me. April was really bad. So I was getting a little nervous, and then they did away with the personalized search at the end of April. So my last week I picked up quite a bit. And that kind of saved me. It still wasn't a great month, so I'm gonna go over what I made in April, and then, yeah, that's it. Okay, so I also like to compare, if you haven't watched any of my videos, just this month from last year. I follow Becca Davis, she's really great, and she says, I think and I've said this every time now, to average like your best 3 months, and that's what you should be aiming for, but for me, that doesn't work. Teaching is in cycles. There are certain seasons that teachers are gonna be buying more things. The beginning of the year is going to be way better, just historically. And I've been looking at trends, so I already know what's coming. I also meant to mention, I was looking at my trends from last year, and like January, February, March start to slowly maybe go down each month a little bit. April, and then May will be my worst month. So I already know that next month will probably be my worst month. I think most teachers, their worst month is summer, and mine might be this year, but last year actually did pretty well in the summer. And I know for a fact that's because all of those teachers I mentioned got assigned this new course and were like probably in a panic because it's a weird course. It's not like your normal history course. It's not content-based, so you're not teaching history as much as you're teaching skills, which for us is a little bit odd. So I think that's why I did really well last summer. I don't know if I'm gonna have that same expectation. I'm gonna keep my hopes high this summer. And I'm also going to be working over the summer a little bit. So we'll see. Wish me luck. Pretty rough month. So we're going to start with sales. So for this month in April, I ended up selling, again, bad month for me, but $365.94. And so, I mean, that's still $365 I wouldn't have had, but I'm really aiming for not that. But when I compare it to last year, it is still, you know, better. So last year I ended up at, let me just, of course I got off the page. Last year I was at $279. So if you do the math, I'm 1.32 times what I did last year. And if you want to compare that to like how much I've grown in the last couple months, I have another video where I cover my February and March income report in one video, and you'll see that this is significantly lower when it comes to like a percentage of increase in sales from last year. So it was kind of a bummer, but like I said, I picked up a lot in the last week. I'm really hopeful for like us going back to the regular search and seeing what that means for my shop. Someone teach me how to screen record because I don't know how to. So you're literally looking from my phone onto my computer, but this is what I was talking about, by the way. So beginning of the month was pretty bad. I think like I had one good day. Everyone makes fun of my mouse because it's so big, but I use multiple screens, so it's easy to find. One day I had like 49, that was pretty good, but personalized search was over, I wanna say like around this time, probably. And then I had a really good day, or maybe around here. But anyway, you can see I picked up towards the end of the month, and I think that really is because of personalized search. So bye, I'm not gonna miss you. And the other stats are kind of interesting too. So for example, when I look at conversion rate, which to me is pretty important, it's, you know, someone's looking at your product and then are they purchasing it? Last year, my conversion rate was 14%, and this year it was only 6.3. So that tells me people are looking at my products this year and buying them less often than they did last year. And so I think, I'm assuming part of that has to be with the search. I'm not sure. I had way fewer views last year. I had 447 views last year and 854. So I almost doubled my views, and I didn't almost double my sales. So it's a bummer. I actually sold fewer units this year, but that's because for me, I do really well with bundles. So my course has units that are a week or two. And so I'll make all of those individual lessons, and then I'll bundle them and sell them as a bundle. And the bundles are what do really well for me. And then I also bundle the whole quarter, so 9 weeks worth of lessons. And then finally this year, just recently, I finished the course. So I have a whole course bundle, which I have not sold yet, but that's okay. But anyway, yeah, so I sold 64 units last year in April, and then this year in April I sold 55, but I still made more money, and I think that's because I'm selling bundles. Yeah, so it's been a bummer of a month for me, but I'll take it because when everyone else's store was kind of tanking during the rest of this personalized search experiment, mine was doing all right. I was still growing each month, and I did still grow this month if you compare it to last year, but just not as much as I was hoping. So again, I recommend checking out January, February, March, or I have like an entire review of how much I made in 2022. If you're a new seller and you're just getting into this, I watch a lot of YouTube videos on what other sellers are doing. The thing for me that kind of sucks is that they're almost all elementary or middle school teachers. I don't know if I have any teachers on YouTube that teach secondary education. And TPT for secondary education teachers is different than it is for elementary school. We have more specific standards, and it's not as saturated, which is nice, but it's just different. And I see that across the board. Like on Instagram, there's way more teachers who are showing their cute little elementary school classrooms and that kind of thing. But I'm hoping to just kind of share with you what my experience is like selling secondary education. I have finished that course and I've moved on to world history. So that's also going to change my stats because it's a very, very different course. Everyone teaches world history. Everyone has to pass world history to graduate high school. So it's more saturated than the course I was just talking about, the pre-AP course, but there's also more buyers. So I'm curious to see how that does for me. I just finished my first unit for that. So I did World War II just because that's like where we were at in the calendar. I was like, I might as well get some sales up. But now I don't know if I'm going to start in the beginning and work beginning to end, or just continue from World War II, finish the content, and then go to the beginning. I don't know. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think I should do. I'm looking to follow other secondary education teachers. I think it would be more helpful for me. So if you are a TPT seller and you sell secondary education, please let me know so I can follow you. And that's it. If you also are just a regular teacher thinking about selling TPT, or if you're not thinking about selling TPT, and I don't know how you ended up on this video, or if you're a TPT author. So all these people, I have a playlist about like just what like my normal teaching life. And I think sometimes it's inspirational and motivational to see other teachers in action. So I have a recent day in the life video, and I have some kind of like tips and tricks I do. So you can check those out on my channel. Bye.